every single day, this Activision Blizzard situation just gets a little bit more disturbing, and it's astonishing at this point, all of the allegations that are emerging. If you haven't been following along, a California lawsuit came about alleging a lot of misconduct that was happening within Activision Blizzard for the last number of years. And since then, we've had a lot of Blizzard developers speaking out. We've had Blizzard executives, former and current, saying that they're sorry. Then we had some Activision Blizzard executives releasing statements saying that no, none of this happened. It's just because of the California bureaucrats who are driving people out of the state, which I don't know what that has to do with anything. But yeah, obviously the developers and employees of Blizzard Entertainment and Activision are absolutely livid with that reaction, in which CEO Bobby Kotick had to finally release a statement last night saying that their initial reaction was quote-unquote tone deaf, which is hilarious because he only reacted once their stock fell by about 6 or 7%, which tells you all you need to know about Bobby Kotick, although he does have an interesting history with harassment and handling those situations. See a lawsuit that emerged around 2010 to know what I'm specifically mentioning. But what you need to know right now is we're having information revealed about the Cosby suite. Yes, we actually have some pictures from within the Cosby suite. You can't make this stuff up, and it just every single day it gets that much worse for Blizzard. And the argument that they made at the beginning that no, none of this actually happened, it's all distorted, it's old. No, it's not. It's been happening for a long time. So what you need to know is one of the key central figures at the center of this California lawsuit that was named was a Blizzard executive, Alex Afrasiabi. I probably said that wrong. He's a former senior creative director of World of Warcraft. He left the company last year. I believe he got fired. At least that's what Activision Blizzard has said, although it was kind of swept on the rug. There was no announcement or anything, which kind of tells you again, Activision Blizzard was trying to cover a lot of this stuff up. They did not want their Ubisoft-like environment to get exposed, but here we are now. But in the California lawsuit, it was said that Alex, he was permitted to engage in blatant harassment with little to no repercussions. During a company event, BlizzCon, Alex would hit on female employees, telling him he wanted to marry them, attempting to kiss them, and putting his arms around them. This was in plain view of other male employees, including supervisors, who had to intervene and pull him off female employees. And then Alex was so known to engage in harassment of females that his suite was nicknamed the Cosby Suite, after Bill Cosby. And then Alex would also call females derogatory names at company events. His conduct was known to Blizzard's executives who took no effective remedial measures. J. Allen Brack, president of Blizzard, allegedly had multiple conversations with Alex about his drinking and that he had been too friendly towards female employees at company events, but he gave him a slap on the wrist, which was verbal counseling in response to these incidents. Subsequently, Alex Afrasiabi continued to make unwanted advances towards female employees, including grabbing a female employee's hand and inviting her to his hotel room and groping another woman. That's Blizzard Entertainment for you. But now we have a following report coming from Kotaku, and yes, they surprisingly do have some good reporting every once in a while. From Ethan Gach, he writes, inside Blizzard developers' infamous Bill Cosby suite. What's going to shock you, which is honestly astonishing here in the year 2021, Alex Afrasiabi did not scrub his social media of the Bill Cosby suite when all of these allegations emerged. I don't know, I think that's like one of those lessons that you should know by now, just that everybody's going to look at your social media and dig up anything from your past, and yeah, he left it all there. He eventually scrubbed it, but all the screenshots have been taken by former and current Blizzard developers who were like, yeah, here's the images of it. But yes, this is the Kotaku article. It says, while many claim they weren't aware of the problematic frat boy culture leading to accusations of harassment and assault at the hands of male Blizzard employees, comments and images shared on social media paint a different picture. Based on photographs and screenshots of Facebook posts obtained by Kotaku, it's clear that people beyond Alex Afrasiabi, the man named in the lawsuit and a longtime World of Warcraft developer, were aware of the Cosby suite mentioned in the lawsuit. That was apparently a nickname for Afrasiabi's BlizzCon 2013 hotel room, and seemingly a reference to the name of previously convicted you-know-what, Bill Cosby. Now, Afrasiabi worked on World of Warcraft beginning in 2004, designed some of its biggest quests, and eventually became a creative director on the 2016 Legion and 2018 Battle of Azeroth expansions. He is also the only person outside of Blizzard president J. Allen Brack outright named in the lawsuit, a fact that's made easy for many to try and distance themselves from Afrasiabi's actions. Now, continuing forward, this is where we get the actual details and information about this unfortunate situation. But the Cosby suite was more than just a nickname or a joke. Based on images and comments a Phraseby posted on his Facebook supplied to Kotaku by a former developer at Blizzard, it was reportedly a booze-filled meeting place where many, including Phraseby, would pose with an actual portrait of Bill Cosby while smiling. It was also a hotspot for informal networking at BlizzCon, 3 sources told Kotaku, where people looking to make inroads at the company would go to meet and hang out with some of its top designers. And here in the first image, well, it's just a bunch of booze and liquor and such from 2013, late 2013, in which Alex says, "Day 0 preparations made, Cosby suite in effect." And then somebody, I'm guessing these are Blizzard employees, said, "Ballers, see you at the show this weekend, well done, rock." And then in another image, we have them holding up a framed picture of Bill Cosby. These are a bunch of Blizzard employees, and the one thing you need to know about this, there's an actual HR representative in one of these images, which again, I think really a lot of people get confused the importance or the role of HR departments. They're not there to protect employees, they're there to protect the company. And I mean, look what's going on here, hanging around executives, not actually understanding that this is probably a bad look, you know, considering that Bill Cosby already had allegations even before 2013, 2014. Obviously, it didn't really pick up until recently, and then obviously there was the overruling of a conviction whatever. You know the history of Bill Cosby, that's what I'm trying to emphasize. Now, Phraseby did not respond to Kotaku by press time and has deleted most of his social media presence. Probably should have done that beforehand. But Phraseby can clearly be seen in a number of pictures surrounded by a variety of unidentified people sitting on a bed. That's the picture I just showed. The captions and comments are both written by and refer by named to other Blizzard employees the pictures show. One ex-Blizzard source familiar with the people presented in the pictures identified an HR rep as one of the Blizzard employees present in the hotel room, like I just said. But moving along, we next have the BlizzCon Cosby crew picture. This is something that was posted by Alex Phraseby in late 2013. He posted the chat that they had, and it shows a bunch of former Blizzard developers talking about what they had intended for this room, or what they were planning to do. We have former Blizzard designer David Kosak, current lead game designer at Blizzard Jesse McCree, Corey Stockton, current lead game designer at Blizzard, and Greg Street, former Blizzard developer who's working on a new MMO at Riot Games. They were all within this chat, and this is what the chat says. Alex Phraseby, who posted this on Facebook, said mics were dropped, and then the chat says BlizzCon Cosby crew as the title of the chat, and David Kosak says, "I'm gathering the hot chicks for the cause." Like I said, this is clearly frat boy culture. And then Alex says, "Bring 'em." Corey Stockton says, "Greg, you on the way." David says, "You can't marry all of them, Alex." And then he says, "I can, I'm Middle Eastern." Definitely not a good look for Blizzard, especially with how they went about communicating that this lawsuit was baseless. And more that's coming out, not looking baseless at all. Looking like they're probably going to have to settle this very, very fast, because this is going to hold over them for a very long time if they don't. And then Jesse McCree says, "You misspelled fuck." Greg Street says, "At Hilton Bar." Jesse says, "Come up to the cause." The cause. Anyway, so as this continues, by 2013, there were already multiple allegations of assault against Cosby, even if a conviction, which was later overturned on a technicality, wouldn't come until 2018. According to one source with knowledge of the hotel room, and this is really important, the Cosby suite name was a play on the comedian's iconic ugly sweaters, and did not have any that type of connotation, at least not when the joke began. Instead, they suggest the running joke was that the rooms in question looked dated like the sweaters. But there's more to this. Hold with me for a second. One source said they were told it was a reference to an ugly boardroom back at Blizzard's main office, which reportedly had similar patterns to the sweater. Another said they understood it to be a reference to an ugly hotel room during a different gaming conference, which this is just maybe something that dated really, really badly, or there's more to this, and there does seem to be more to this. But in all pictures of the 2013 BlizzCon hotel room, reviewed by Kotaku, the walls were largely white and blank, and the decor was nondescript. The rug visible in some of the photographs does have a pattern, but it looks nothing like the sweaters in the framed picture everyone is holding. And then, as Kotaku writes, another ex-Blizzard source pushed back on claims the Cosby suite was a joke about ugly boardrooms or sweaters, noting that when Blizzard moved to its new Irvine, California campus in 2008, the office had been freshly painted, and to their knowledge, there was no infamous ugly boardroom. And then during discussions with Kotaku sources who suggested the joke was an innocent play on an infamous room somewhere somewhere else had also insisted that despite this apparent widespread notoriety that was memorable enough to commemorate with a framed picture, they did not know the room belonged to Alex Afrasiabi. I keep saying that wrong probably. Then two other former Blizzard developers told Kotaku that when they heard about the Cosby suite through whisper networks, they clearly interpreted it as a reference to the allegations against him. So it's really not clear what the actual belief or what was going on back then, why they named it that, but it was clearly known what was going on with Cosby at the time, and just very immature frat boy culture. I think that is definite. Anything more than that, it's difficult to say, but there is some more to this story. In one image procured by Kotaku, which is not shown here, a group of women are sitting on a bed in the room with the Cosby portrait. One of the women appears to have a hand on another's breast, which is cheered on by the men in the comments. The images procured by Kotaku and two sources with knowledge of Alex Afrasiabi's alleged predatory behavior. Cosby's reputation was apparently the point of why the group of men gathered around this picture and the photos. So it seems to be some sources saying that the intention wasn't, I guess, really bad, like it wasn't in reference to Cosby's allegations, and then there's some saying no it was. So not exactly clear, and maybe it's just that some employees interpreted it one way, others did not. There also could be some just trying to distance themselves from the situation, and actually one of the developers is trying to do that. Greg Street, one of the developers I mentioned, he had an interesting take on this Blizzard situation. He took to Twitter saying, "I'm not trying to speak for Blizzard, and I'm certainly not trying to speak for the women or POCs at Blizzard. I do believe men in leadership roles have a responsibility, a duty to make sure women and other marginalized folks feel welcome, happy, and successful at our studios," which is okay, but he's also the one who is within the Cosby suite. And they have this post from 2013 in which he says, "There must always be a Cosby suite, taking over from Kozak absurd proclamations." And then we have a picture of Alex and I believe Greg Street within this with the Cosby suite in the background and a bunch of other Blizzard male employees in the background. So not something that's aged all that well, but yeah, this is just continues to be a very bad look for Blizzard. Now this continues. One source told Kotaku that Kozak was one of the few people who did intervene in the past when another Blizzard developer was harassing them. So I mean, it's not like these guys are just automatically evil because they were in some room named the Cosby suite, but it is just something that did not age well. And Kotaku did reach out to Activision Blizzard for a statement about these pictures, and this is what they had as a response. "An employee brought these 2013 events to our attention in June 2020. We'd immediately conducted our own investigation and took corrective action. At the time of the report, we had already conducted a separate investigation of Alex Afrasiabi and terminated him for his misconduct in his treatment of other employees." So I guess that is what happened to him. He's no longer at the company because of his past misconduct. But it is interesting again, Activision Blizzard, as their company response, was calling all this old, distorted, outdated information. None of this was true, but it's coming more clear every single day that they were just blatantly lying. Anyway, as it stands right now, over 2,600 developers, former and current, have signed a petition really going after Activision Blizzard for their initial response to this situation, the California lawsuit, and many of them are on strike today. While many fans have also said they are boycotting Activision Blizzard, this is a nightmare for the company, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens next because I really don't know what's going to happen, but it's becoming clear that, like I said, Blizzard just never was great. This culture was always horrifying, and these new pictures are just definitely what the fuck was going on within those walls, and why did nobody from the leadership, the executives, take charge? You hear all of these comments and remarks over the years, statements all about Blizzard's values, but those values weren't real. Anyway, what do you make of this current situation? Do you think these Blizzard employees really named the Cosby suite after his ugly sweater, or do you think it was in reference to his allegations? Because it doesn't seem to be entirely clear what the intention was, but definitely is something that did not age well, and it really looks bad considering everything that was happening within Blizzard, all the discrimination, harassment, racism, sexism, assault, and so on and so forth. This is a very bad situation, and Blizzard's reputation continues to go down the toilet. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy this video or if you found any informative value, and make sure to follow my other social media accounts for updates on new videos. Links are always down in the description below. I'm most active on Twitter giving opinions on news that I do not always get into video form, so do make sure to follow me over there. Also check out my Discord for all sorts of discussion on games. And again, thank you for joining. Consider subscribing for more videos like this. I'll see you later.